Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the University of York. I declare open this congregation for the conferment of awards. Please be seated.
Chancellor, it is an honour and a pleasure to present to you Dame Professor Anne Glover, FRS, for her services to science and society. Dame Anne Glover is the Vice Principal for External Affairs and the Dean for Europe at the University of Aberdeen. She studied biochemistry at the University of Edinburgh, where she gained a first-class BSc degree. She then gained a PhD from the University of Cambridge for her research on microbes. In 1983, she started at the University of Aberdeen as a lecturer in environmental microbiology. One of her outstanding achievements as a research scientist is to develop novel biosensors based on genetically modified bacteria that emit light in the presence of certain pollutants. She quickly recognized the applied potential of such biosensors and set up a company called Remedios that now operates as an environmental consultancy service. This awareness of the importance of basic research and when and where it can be applied for commercial gain or for policy development was influential to her subsequent career path. In 2006, Anne Glover became the first Chief Scientific Advisor for Scotland. This was then followed in 2012 with Anne being appointed as the first Chief Scientific Advisor to the EU Commission. The then President, José Manuel Barroso, recognized the value of scientific advice and wished to review the way European institutions access and use scientific advice in policy development and delivery, and provided the link that would translate the latest research into evidence-based policy options for the European governance. In this role, Anne proactively set up and chaired the President's Science and Technology Advisory Council, made up of eminent scientists from across the European research area, covering a wide range of disciplines. The President attended all of these meetings to consider the relationship between science and society and its role in Europe's future. In June 2014, Anne Glover also proactively set up the European Science Advisors Forum, a network that brought together government science advisors from member states. This was a substantial achievement, as Anne had to go to each member state and convince their governments one by one of the advantages of having an independent science advisor. The idea was to provide a forum for discussion of scientific evidence on topics of pan-European interest, share best practice, and to promote evidence-based policy making across the EU. Anne was also on the organising committee for setting up the first global meeting of government science advisors in August 2014. Now, Anne's scientific training and expertise is in biochemistry and microbiology, but she was providing information and advice on the whole of science, including space, particle physics, neglected tropical diseases, GMOs, climate change, big data in the Ebola crisis, and so on. For anybody, this is an immensely daunting challenge. So how was she able to do this so intelligently and effectively? First, a fundamental aspect of training to be a scientist is to understand the scientific method. That is, the generation of a hypothesis based on observations and then testing the hypothesis by testing its predictions. If there are observations that clearly go against the hypothesis, then the hypothesis has to be changed. Put more simply, the scientist weighs up all the evidence in front of him or her before coming to a conclusion, whilst being sufficiently open-minded to incorporate new evidence that may enforce or detract from that conclusion. This training can be applied on any level to assess the weight of evidence on any science issue. Second, scientists operate in networks, and Anne used these networks to find the experts to advise her on issues outside her own particular field. Networks, combined with her science training, meant she could speak with confidence to provide scientific advice that would be used for policy development. Third, Anne Glover, the person, made it work. Her exceptional focus on the task, her passion for science communication, her straight-talking and absolute commitment to the value of evidence-based decision-making led to a significant impact on policy development. She is not afraid of saying it how it is, when the scientific evidence is weighed up, and this has sometimes made her unpopular. For example, regarding the use of genetically modified crops. Notably, she stresses the need to continually engage the public regarding science issues. She is also the first to accept that there are other factors besides scientific evidence that go into policy decisions, including culture, religious beliefs, philosophy, and political ideology, whilst acknowledging that the overriding principle, however, should be transparency. Despite the severe under-resourcing of her department at the EU Commission, she significantly raised the profile of scientific evidence in policy making. Anne Glover is a great advocate for women in science. She is a great believer in role models, and when women achieve positions of prominence, this sends important messages to other women. Anne wants other women to regard her as a, quote, benchmark for normal, as she does not regard herself as being exceptional. She would like younger women to say, and I quote, "Yeah, I could do that if she could do it. She looks perfectly normal. She just really likes what she does." Chancellor, for her outstanding contribution and commitment to science and society, it is a very great honour to present to you Dame Anne Glover, FRS, for the degree of Doctor of the University of York, honoris causa.
Chancellor, faculty, honourable guests, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow graduates. It's a great pleasure and honour to receive this honorary degree from not just any university, but the University of York, a world-renowned university. So for that reason, it makes it very special indeed for me. And I thank the university very much for its recognition. Perhaps the greatest pleasure is to share the day actually with you, my fellow graduates, because I know that you and your family will remember this day for a very long time. It's your day, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So in thinking about what to say to you, I thought there were really just 4 things that I wanted to talk about. The first one is that you never achieve anything in life by acting alone. So the reason that you're here today is because of your family, because of the staff at the University of York, your friends, your partners, and that's what's made this day possible for you. And I think that you continue to value that support that you have got, and that you also, in your life, provide that same support for others. that you've benefited so much from. The other thing that you must do is keep in touch with the University of York, because they will really want to know you when you're famous. Remember that. The second thing that I'd want to say is take a moment just to recognize that what you have is a very precious and powerful thing. What you receive today is a degree from the University of York. You've worked hard for that degree, and it will work hard for you. The degree is your international passport. You are able to do some of the most creative things possible with that degree behind you. You can change lives, you can change futures, and indeed you can invent the future with it. With your degree from the University of York, you can speak with authority. I hope you use this well. The third thing, and this is normally where the parents get very nervous, is that I would say to the graduates here today, take risk. The big challenges in life for all of us require great imagination and also great boldness. Assess the risk. Ask the question to yourself, what's the worst that can possibly happen if I do this new or different thing? It's normally never that bad. A ship, for example, is safe in harbour, but that's not what ships are for. So get out there and take some risk. The biggest risk in life is taking no risk at all. And the final advice that I would give to you is be an active member of society. The skills that you have are priceless. You're valuable experts, and the world needs experts. In my lifetime, I've never experienced a time where truth and integrity are in such short supply, particularly in public life. We have started to normalize generally things by calling them post-truth. And this post-truth era is a fiction. It's something that we used to call telling lies, and that's exactly what we should call it when we come across it. So above all in your life, be true to the evidence, look for the evidence, and fight for that evidence to be heard. And perhaps the simplest thing which I would leave you with, which seems to be fast disappearing, is when you work with people, when you live with people, be kind. Nothing is achieved by being nasty. I hope you enjoy every minute of this special day. Use your degree well, and you will be shaping our futures. So good luck. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ensemble Eonomy will perform The Road Home by Stephen Paulus, followed by The Longest Time by Billy Joel.
The road I can call my as I wake from a dream in the gold of day. Through the air there's a calling from far away. There's a voice I can hear that will lead me home. Rise up, follow me, come away is the call. With love in your heart, as the only song, there is no such beauty as where you belong. Rise up, follow me, I will lead you home. Dum 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 whoa, longest for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. If you said goodbye to me tonight, there'd still be music left to write. This hasn't happened for the longest time. Now I find that happiness goes on. That's where you find it. Like you put your arms around me. Hasn't been there for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. That voice you're hearing in the hall. And the greatest miracle of all. For the longest time. To feel so right. That it could be and it's more than I hoped for. Who knows how much further we'll go on? Maybe I'll be sorry when you're gone. I'll take my chances. I forgot how nice romance is. I haven't been there for the longest time. I said to myself, hold on to your time. Now I know the woman that you are. You're wonderful so far, and it's more than I hoped for. I don't care what consequence it brings. I'll be the fool for less of things. I want you so bad. I intend to hold you for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biology. For research in epigenetic dysregulation in cadmium carcinogenesis, Lucinda Cowling. For research in epidemiology of Panabacillus larvae in honeybees, Barbara Morrissey. For research in the interaction between forests and wood ants, Duncan Proctor. For research in the role of N1-SRC in neuronal development, Sarah Wetherill. For the degree of Master of Science by Research in Biology, Emily Rose Churchill. Alice Garthia Melgares. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry, Wing Yan Chan. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biology, Fabian Kalpanovich. Lydia Flatt. Shannon Daniela Flynn. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology and Microbiology, Mohammed Kamaruddin. Proma Roy. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Genetics, Kenneth Chow. Joanne Cox.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences, for research in estimating heterogeneity in meta-analysis, Dean Langan. For research in the study of the appropriateness of prescriptions, Adeog Oluwasi. For the degree of Master of Science in Applied Health Research, Leanne Akraluna. Emma Elizabeth Armstrong. Elizabeth Eddington. Simon Sarenkarud. Rebecca Woodhouse. For the degree of Masters in Public Health, Alex Christiansen. Matilda de Heron. Seth Francis Graham. Fafil Fayani. Catherine Harvey. Bethany Knowles. Mary Claire Ridge. Debbie Scott. Helena Stallings, Sophia Stusczyk, Barbara Thomasai, Mivir Valenzuela, Sally Wood. For the degree of Master of Nursing Adult, Mary Allett. Catherine Atherton. Katie Carthew. Claire Dixon. For the degree of Master of Nursing Mental Health, Mathilde Rahatz. For the degree of Postgraduate Diploma in Public Health, Lisa Chandler. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Midwifery Practice, Romilly Anson Green. Rachel Askey. Joanne Bradbury. Anna Clapperson. Kerry Clark. Catherine Ellery. Lucy Flatley. Kate Hutt. Rhianne Jarrett. Anna Kennedy. Lucy Mason. Charlotte Needham. Victoria Nunn. Jane Penketh. Molly Povey. Jennifer Scottson. Megan Simpson. Rosie Smearton. Catherine Thompson. Jennifer Ward. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Health and Social Care Practice, Samantha Brackenbury. Anna Bradley. Julie Clayton. Elaine East. Catherine Graspy. Nicola Hart. Tracy Moulton. Alexander Mann. Tim O'Dowd. Robert Powell. Victoria Ramsden. Nina Roberts. Judy Sandlin. And Neil Shepherdson. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Health and Social Care Practice, Applied Midwifery, Anne Campbell. Joanna Harrison. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Health and Social Care Practice, Psychosocial Interventions, David Bennett. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Adult, Dalia Abdu. Leah Anis Agore. Josine Bannister. Jade Barnes. Charlotte Barrett. Rachel Baxter. Ebony Bint. Thomas Bricknell. Louise Byrne. Emma Calvert. Naomi Cameron. Samantha Cowan. Sarah Cowlin. Yasmin Davis. Laura Davis. Catherine Dixon. Hayley Dunbar. Abigail Ebbett. Kaylee Edge. Christina Helmsley. Alexandra Farr. Laura Farah. Charlotte Fincham. Lois Gilbertson. Bethan Grandry. Georgina Hall. Alice Horsey. Megan Harvey. Natalie Harvey. Sarah Hawksley. Emma Heselden. Scott Higgins. Molly Himsworth. Charlotte Hurst. Julie Hodson. Charlotte Holliday. Samantha Hubie. Kerish Hughes. Rebecca Hughes. Sophie Hutchinson. Rebecca Hibbertson. Rachel Jackson. Bethany Jameson. Christine Jacques. Fiona Johnson. Sophie King. Chloe Langford. Alexandra Laffery Hoff. Victoria Linford. Melanie Linley. Beth Lusby. Hannah McAdam. David Mason. Emily Jane Matthews. Dawn McInnery. Katie Meehan. Samantha Meldrum. Rachel Morris. Catherine Murphy. Ashley Newson. Olivia Albright. Suzanne O'Grady. Grace Oliver. Terry Oyston. Victoria Packwood. Emily Paget. Kay Louise Peacock. Harriet Pearson. Leanne Pilcher. Magdalena Pope. Gary Murray. Laura Scarham. Heather Scott. Rachel Short. Emily Slater. Hannah Smith. Lindsay Smith. Hannah Stacey. Rachel Stevens. Jessica Elizabeth Tong. Imogen Toolman. Bethany Rowles. Caitlin Reverhill. Mary Welford. Helen Whitehead. Sophie Wildman. Ella Wilson. Holly Winchester. Laura Wincote. Nicole Winship. Samantha Wood. Catherine Wiley. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Child, Lauren Atkins. Abigail Brazel. Isabel Crudas. Kirsty Flintoff. Gemma Granger. Chantal Murphy. Sarah Renshaw. Lauren Rowe. Francis Skinner. Paige Wallace-Donnelly. Faye Harrington. And Emily Woodins. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Learning Disability, Sophie Craven. Emma Doobie. Rhys Dodsworth. Laura Doswell. Lauren Dowling. Gemma Johnson. Katrina McDermott. Peter Radley. Charlotte Samuels. Laura Simmons. Edward Toms. And Vanessa Vaughan-Jones. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Mental Health, Timothy Addison. Mary Omoko. Avril Barnes. Elizabeth Kofi. Adam Davison. Alexander Dawson. Daniel Graver. Kareem Habib. Julie Longhorn. Sally Lowther. Emerald Marunda. Catherine McKenna. Gail Petman. Nicola Richardson. Craig Schofield. Liv Sexton. Melanie Simcoe. Manan Smith. Megan Smith. Grace Wallace. Hayley Wright. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Ordinary in Care-Related Studies, Sam Prest. Brenda Rowell. For the Foundation Degree in Health and Social Care, Associate Practitioner Tracy Brooke. Anne Gaynor King. Justin Glover. Emma Oregon. Gemma Johnson. Gemma Martin. Jennifer Mountain. Karen Smith. Susan Spink. Lisa Stewart. Fiona Tomaszewski. And Jennifer Wade.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Medical Sciences. For Research and Positron Emission Tomography Tracer Development, Kayleigh Brocklesby. For Research in Visual Cortical Alpha Rhythms, Karen Hawkins. For Research in PDE3A Signalling and Blood Platelets, Robert Law. For Research in Palliative Care for Parkinson's Disease, Edward Richfield. For Research in GP's Decision-Making in the Referral of Lung Cancer, Spencer Robinson. For Research in Dental Mechanics of Hard Object Feeding, Karen Swan. For Research in Hyperlipidemia and Platelet Hyperactivity, Casey Woodward. For the degree of Doctor of Medicine and Medical Sciences, for Research in Investigating Reach and Grasp in Parkinson's, Jeremy Cosgrove. For Research in CTOs, Hyperdynamics and Clinical Outcomes, Andrew Ladwinek. For the degree of Master of Science by Thesis in Medical Sciences, Hadil Hussain. And for the degree of Master of Science in Human Anatomy and Evolution, Eben Cooper. Emily Hunter. Amar Jamjun. Jennifer Parker. Helen Porter. And Olivia Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost impossible for me to convey the sensation and the honour of standing here and, on behalf of the university, conferring those degrees and other awards that I've done this morning. The symbols of optimism, and hope and enthusiasm that have crossed the podium this morning are deeply humbling and deeply moving. From those who have submitted theses for PhDs or for MDs, these higher degrees, all of which require extensive focus, bearing down on smaller and smaller areas of activity in order to be able to contribute to the sum of human knowledge, is a fantastic achievement. But alongside them, those for whom I've had the privilege this morning of awarding degrees and diplomas in nursing and midwifery and those subspecialties of child and adult nursing, in mental health and in learning disabilities. All of these are areas in which we need experts, as Anne Glover was saying earlier, and in particularly within the NHS in this country, of which I also have the honour to be chairman of the board of NHS England. So I've got a really personal, strong interest that we as a nation are able to continue to train those who will care for our patients, particularly in a time of quite dramatic demographic change with an aging population, frequently with multiple comorbidities. So it's with enormous pride that I confirm the confirmation of those awards, but also just formally now confer awards on those students who have been unable to be with us this morning but have taken their degrees in absentia. And on that note, to welcome everybody who's joined us this morning, and I know many have come huge distances from across the world to join in this ceremony and to support our graduating class this morning. So you have the most warm of welcomes to this phenomenal ancient city and this phenomenal modern university. You are our most welcome guests, and we're delighted to have you here. We do 2 series of graduation ceremonies a year. In June, it's principally undergraduates, and in these ceremonies, it's a combination of undergraduates and of postgraduates, those who have already done their degrees either here or elsewhere. It's always very difficult to set the style and the note for a speech such as this. So I decided when I was appointed, I'm still on probation, by the way, as Chancellor. I was appointed just last year. I've still got the L plates on, but I decided that I would consult a group of fantastic York undergraduate students as to how I should prepare for an event like this. And we sat down and talked it through, and I realized that the York way was to leave it to the last minute, stay up with a group of friends with a large glass of wine, watch a few movies, get onto social media, and watch a few other movies, and then by about 3:30 in the morning, panic, resort to large cups of black coffee, and to start to get my mind back into order and around the subject matter which I had to address this morning. So I've learned the York way, and it's obviously done no harm to those whom I'm addressing this morning. So I've sat in just about every seat in every house in graduation ceremonies as an anxious undergraduate, as a postgraduate, as a parent of 3 children who've gone through these ceremonies, and also as even once by mistake an honorary graduate, and then also conferring these degrees. And one thing I can reassure everybody about this morning is that I cannot remember a single word that any Chancellor ever said in any of those ceremonies. So the prospects of my doing long-term damage to you are really very remote. So I can provide that assurance. The award of an honorary degree is the highest award that a university can offer. There are very strict criteria that universities have for these awards. They need to be always people of great distinction and people whose lives and whose careers have mirrored the values of the institution that is conferring the degrees on them. I would say that we've not always got it absolutely right. So on this podium last year in January, I had the huge honour of awarding degrees to, first of all, Armando Iannucci, who was the fantastic author of The Thick of It, and a number of really outrageous political satires that characterized the state of the nation 2 or 3 years ago. I read recently he's given up on satire because that which he wrote as satire has become documentary over the past year. The second candidate who was on this podium last year at this time was Roy Hodgson. He was the manager of the English football team, and during the course of his day or two in York, we gave him extensive advice on squad selection, on tactics, and on how to plot the tactics which would be adopted by the other teams. I think it's a huge shame that he took us seriously. And the state of England's performance in Euro 2016 was not something that we would have wished. And so I have to say that today's honorand is of different material. I think those of us who have admired Dame Anne Glover's work from afar for a long time are deeply appreciative today that she has been honoured in this way, because in addition to all of those virtues which were mentioned in the citation, she's one of the bravest scientists I know. The tenure that she had with the European Commission was not always straightforward. It was highly contested territory. And with a change in presidents of the EU, so the value that was placed on impartial scientific advance came to be downgraded. And she was courageous enough to face up to that and to speak truth unto power. And we've heard a little of that this morning. I couldn't be more delighted that Anne Glover has agreed to be, for us, not only an exemplar of those values that we hold as a university, but what an example to our graduating class. Because the truth is, and I suspect Anne would agree, that when she sat in a graduation ceremony like this, she had no idea of what lay ahead. And that's true of everybody in this room. We just don't know, but the potential is there, and we must certainly build upon it. Because these are difficult times, and when that speaking of truth to power becomes increasingly challenging. The notion of populism, which has so gripped America and has gripped this country in the Brexit debate, is a notion that is to a large extent based upon what it is that we don't want, what it is about the elites in Washington, what it is about the EU, which we find distasteful and which we use as a reason for resistance and for voting out the established order. That, by the way, is completely comprehensible. The problem with us is now how we resolve those deeply riven splits in our respective societies, how we, as an intelligent graduating class, can ensure that we do not degenerate into a system of nationalism, of xenophobia, of enclosing ourselves in our own nation's preoccupations and ignoring the plight of the rest of the world. So it's a reaction, of course, in many quarters to a phenomenon of globalization, which has had the consequence of moving jobs around in job markets, of leaving behind those for whom previously there was gainful employment, and too often abandoning them to unemployment and to cyclical and intergenerational deprivation, which bears very heavily on our social services, of course, and our health service, but much more fundamentally on the state of mind of those who are left behind. And yet, globalization across the world has had an extraordinary transformational effect. Let me just put it into the context of higher education. We have in this country around 1 million students studying in our universities and colleges. In the United States, it's about 20 million. I was in India last week talking to the Minister of Higher Education there. Their ambition is to increase the number of students in higher education every year by 30 million a year. A similar exercise is underway in China. These are the nations that have brought their populations out of grinding agricultural poverty. It's not by any means a completed task yet. But they can see that higher education is the next step that equips everybody to survive in a highly competitive world. And it's the globalization, the cutting down of borders and the reduction of tariffs between nations that allows trade to proceed, that allows these consequences to ensue. So one of the critical aspects of our future is trying to ensure that the changes that are about to occur in the fourth technological revolution do not have the same isolating and dividing effect that that of the third revolution has produced. What do I mean by the fourth industrial revolution? I think it's the onward march of technology. It's the march of robotics, of miniaturization, and critically of artificial intelligence. Just as earlier industrial revolutions have shifted jobs from one sector of the economy to another, so will this, and quite markedly. But it's a different array of jobs. It's the jobs that have survived the earlier industrial revolutions. It's the jobs of the middle classes. It's the jobs which are in administration. It's the jobs that are in accounting and in auditing. When we're no longer programming computers in a binary manner to produce the results that we want through sheer logic, but we're allowing computers to program themselves through a model of neural circuitry, then we have consequences which are much more technologically advanced than in the past. So, for example, we know that accounting and auditing can now be done largely by computing in real time. We don't need accountants, we don't need auditors. Even my own profession of lawyers, I heard the Lord Chief Justice 3 days ago saying that much litigation in the future will be conducted by smartphones. And I still worry about how we inject the rule of law into artificial intelligence, but the thinking is starting to evolve very fast. And the basic formula is this: the more precisely your job can be defined, the greater the likelihood that it will be done in the future by computers. So what does that mean? Where does that puts the premium, doesn't it, on people who have those qualities of creativity, the qualities of being able to think differently from others, and above all, as so symbolized this morning, the quality of emotion, of being able to act like a human being and not like a computer. And in our caring professions, which have been so well represented here this morning, that's an absolutely, absolutely fundamental ploy. So the future has to be not only, I think, to anticipate, encompass, and move around changes in technology, but try to be able to use them to build the bridges and not the walls to characterize the future of our society. I think that we need a model in which there is hope always, not just optimism, but hope, not unrealistic hope. Let me give you an example of that. There is a jury trial going on in which a young woman is complaining of unwarranted advances by a man, and standing in the witness box with him in the dock, she tells the judge that she's too embarrassed to say out loud in court what it is that he said to her. So the judge kindly beams down at her and says, "Why don't you just write it down on a bit of paper and we'll pass it to the jury?" So she writes down something along the following lines: "Why don't we conjoin in ecstasy of a particular reaching of the higher echelons?" I understand, I'm paraphrasing what she actually wrote. So the note is passed to the jury, and each member of the jury reads it and nods sagely and passes it to the next jury. It gets almost to the end, and there's a very attractive young lady sitting there. She reads it, passes it to the elderly man beside her who's been snoozing through this, and he wakes up with a start, opens the note, and a large smile as he folds the note and puts it in his pocket. And the judge says, "Please, would you pass that note up to the bench?" And he says, "No need, my lord, it's a purely private matter." There's a difference between false hope and the real hope that should be characterizing our deliberations. So we know that this revolution is coming through, and we need to ask, well, where will the prizes go? I suggest the prizes will go to, first of all, those who have the greatest agility, the ability to change rapidly in a fast-moving environment and to adapt to what's happening around us. And that must be, above all, the qualities that we generate in those who graduate from our universities. I would say, secondly, and Anne Glover's touched upon this already, sheer integrity. This is not a world of post-truth. The truth doesn't go away. The truth is something we have to confront, and there is, I think, no room for post-truth in science. Science has to be bounded by fact and truth and exploration, and of course, as Anne has said to us this morning, by risk. we need to take the risk. Not every risk. I just need to explain, not every risk is worth taking. There's a time when there was a graduation ceremony a bit like this in a university that had, for the summer, decided to refurbish its main graduation hall. So it erected a temporary structure outside, and everything was going very well, until a student came across a bit more exuberant than some of the students we've had this morning, and started playing to the audience, started jumping up and down. Halfway across the stage, and there's a huge splintering sound, and he disappeared completely from sight. And there was a hush across the auditorium, broken only by his mother, who said, "Oh, please ignore him, it's just the stage he's going through." So please don't risk it. There is a way of bounding our possibilities for risk in a manner that is sensible and appropriate. And when it comes to integrity, you can't talk your way out of things that you've behaved your way into. I think that is the critical message. And so it is, I think, that the third element that we would anticipate as the message for all of our graduating class is simply this: don't forget the left behind. Now, I mean, so many of those who I've been delighted to meet this morning have dedicated their learning and will, I'm sure, dedicate their careers to those who are in need of emotional and scientific and medical support, but also empathy. Empathy I don't yet see coming on the radar of artificial intelligence. It may be the Japanese are devising robots who will care for the elderly in their homes and talk to them in the morning. Frankly, with some of my family, it might as well be a robot that I talk to in the morning, but it's not quite the same. So we know that, I think, those who leave us today will go out into the world with a sense of hope and with a sense of empathy. Not, I hope, with a sense of entitlement. Let me give you one final story about a graduate from another university who had applied successfully for a place on a management training program with a large retail organization. He arrived on his first day, really quite proud and full of himself, and met the manager. And the manager said, "I'm so pleased to have you here, a graduate of XXX University." And he said, the first task is to sweep out the shop. Here, take the broom and sweep out the shop. And the bloke said, "Look, sorry, may not have explained this properly." He said, "I'm a graduate." And the shop manager said, "I'm terribly sorry, terribly sorry. Of course you're a graduate. Here, hand me back the broom and I'll show you how it works." So there we are. What a fantastic morning. This has been it's been a ceremony that has its formal elements in which we convert those who come into this room as graduands into graduates of this great university. And they are going to be members of this university for life. We have about 130,000 alumni and staff and students in this great institution, a number that's growing annually. I'm often in other parts of the world and people come up to me and say, "University of York, I went there," or "My best friend went there and I want to go there." Don't underestimate the power of your status as graduates of this great university and the extent to which knowledge of it is now extended across the world. Please ensure that you stay in touch. And as Anne said, the more famous you get, the more we want to know you. But actually, don't bother about getting famous. We want to get to know you and continue to know you and let you take huge pride in the accomplishments of those who follow you through this university. In conclusion, I need to offer some thanks. I'd like to thank, first of all, and on your behalf, those who behind the scenes have made this possible. This is a ceremony that has run like clockwork, and many people have spent many hours in devising it and planning it. Secondly, in extending my thanks from those staff to thank all of the staff at the University of York, and I think particularly those who have been responsible for your tuition and your welfare during your time here, many of whom are with us today, and whom I would like you please to join me in saying a special thanks to them and behind them to all the staff of the university. And you know, did you hear that student choir earlier? I mean, that was a student choir. Absolutely beautiful. They're called E-Anonymy, and they sing, I hesitate to call it barbershop quintet because it's actually much more sophisticated a cappella singing, but I just thought they're wonderful. Please, could we have a round of applause for them as well? And, you know, on behalf of this group, I'm going to thank that group. Friends, families, spouses, partners, children, supporters, grandparents, and great friends of our graduating class, and I'm sure now also of the university. Let me repeat our thanks to you for coming from such great distances to join us this morning, but more importantly, for the ongoing support that you have given those who are graduating today. It's a support which I know is financial, and I can assure you that won't finish just today. And but also, it's hugely emotional. So please, may we please join me in thanking those who have joined us in supporting us. And of course, my final thanks and congratulations just go to the graduating class. I've had enormous pleasure this morning talking to you. I'm very grateful to those who complimented me on my gown and my hat. But more seriously, so well done, and our warmest congratulations go from the whole university to you. I declare this congregation closed. Thank you all very much.